just want to pop on here real quick because I made a huge decision and my throat is still in my stomach or my heart or whatever that saying is. Anyways, feel sick to my stomach about it, but I think it's a good feeling. I don't know. Anyways, so I just purchased my wedding dress, which I don't even know what today is. What's today? The 5th. So we're 5 days away from, 5 days away from my wedding being just a year off. So I've tried on dresses before. I fell in love with some, but I was like kind of all over the board. Like none of them were the same styles, but there's like 3 or 4 that like I really loved on me. And I left without anything and was just gonna go back at the end of the month. Well, there's a store in my town that I live in that had a $500 off or a $500 dress this weekend only. Okay, so I was like, all right, I don't really want to go, but $500 off, like I better just go try some things on. And this shop really hasn't got that great of like reviews. Like everyone's like, you probably shouldn't go there. So I like wasn't expecting anything from this shop. I was like, I'll just try some on. Maybe I'll get a better idea of what actual style I want to go with. It'll be super easy. And I'll only try on the styles that are on sale, so I'm not, getting out of my price range or anything like that. So, it was like a last minute thing. Like I decided I was going on Tuesday and today's Saturday. I just asked my older sister, who's also my maid of honor, to go with me. She was like, I don't know if I can make that work. I was like, well, if you can't make it work, then I just won't go. Like, I ain't worried about it. It's whatever. I really didn't even want to go. Actually, I was kind of over trying on dresses. Like, I really kind of want to lose some weight before I win again, but, whatever. Like, I didn't even shave my legs this time. Like, I was not worried about it. And my hair looks a mess, but whatever. We went today. And, like, just the experience when I walked in, like, wasn't the greatest. Like, she forgot my name twice. I'm pretty sure she didn't even call me by my name half the time. She didn't really help me pick out too many dresses, maybe like 2, which both of them I love. They were actually my 2 finalists. So, I mean, she knows what she's doing, don't get me wrong. She's very good at her job. I think she just has a lot on her plate. There was like 5 other girls there, and then like 2 of those, I don't know what they're called, bridal consultants maybe? The ladies who run around and get your dresses for you. There was 2 of those and 5 of us brides, if not more. And so she was running around trying to get everybody's plus mine, and like she didn't even really help me get into my dresses. She didn't really, like I said, she didn't really pick any out for me. It was like me and my sister. She picked out 2, which she did great on. But just like the overall experience, like I wasn't feeling it. I was like, okay, I had a much better experience at my last bridal shop I went to. They were super personable. They had me fill out like paperwork, like with my date and where my wedding was gonna be, and asked me all these questions like, oh, how to do my fiance Josh me, and all these things, and like they didn't ask any of that. Just went in, I showed her some pictures, and then she said, okay, look at this in the wall, and 4 dresses at a time, which at the other place I started out with like 12, which could have been a little overwhelming if I didn't have my consultant, but my consultant was there like the whole time. She went through and helped me pick out dresses. She picked out a lot of dresses for me actually, which most of them I loved. And then she was actually in the dressing room, which some people may not like that. I don't know. So at the other bridal place. She was in the dressing room. She was making like it go like this. My dresses were undone while I took off the other dress, and then I was ready to step into the other one. She helped me get it up. She buttoned it, zipped it, put the clips right in, and then I went out and showed my bridesmaids and my mom. Like, she was super helpful. The one I went to today, she didn't do any of that. Like, my sister was clipping my dresses for me just so it would even, like, fit. Like, so the girls weren't falling out. And showing everybody. And, oh, did I mention, like, the room was just, like, one big room with, like, all 5 of us girls. So, like, it wasn't personable. Like, if I had more than one person there, they would have been standing. And so I'm glad I just brought my sister because she was able to help me into my dress. She was able to clip me up, and then she couldn't sit because she was helping me the whole time, and there was nowhere for her to sit because everybody else had the chairs, and people were like walking in and out with dresses and like trying on and standing in front of the mirrors with dresses, and it just was kind of chaotic. So anyways, compared to the first bridal place I went to, we actually had our own corner. Like, everyone had a seat. It was just so much more secluded, and I was able to really talk to like who I brought, and really like I didn't feel bad for standing up there and staring at myself for a long time, which I did it at this one today. I was like, I don't really care, like I have to like stare at myself for a long time. I'm not ready to get out of this dress yet. And that's how I kind of knew like it was probably the dress. So anyways, so my bridal consultant that I did have, plus like 5 other girls had, picked out some really awful dresses at first. Like, she would pick them out, and then I'd be like, Ashley, I do not want to even try this on. And so there was one dress that I knew I wanted to try on when I went in today. So that was the first one I tried on, and I still really liked it because I tried it on previously. I really liked it. There was another style that I was in love with, like that I almost said yes to at the other bridal shop. Almost. Like, I was really close, but I was like, this is my first shop. Like, I don't think I'm ready. So I left with just like the information on it. So I tried on a couple like that, and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I was like, I think it's too elegant. So it was like the sheer, very simple, kind of ball gowny, but not like poofy. It was like the sheer, no tulle or any lace or nothing like that. So I just thought it was too elegant for my venue and kind of like what I envisioned. So our wedding's going to be in the fall. It's going to be an outdoor wedding. Like, I feel like that kind of elegant should have been like in a cathedral. Like, that's how beautiful it was. Like, I still love them, but it just wasn't for like what I envisioned. I love myself in it, but I couldn't see myself at my venue on my wedding day, if that makes sense. So I tried on a couple like that, and then I wanted to try on some fitting ones, like, well, more fitting, and like mermaid style, which I said absolutely not to the first bridal shop, but she made me try on one, which I think was kind of a mistake on her part. She made me try on one, and I fell in love with it, but it was like way over my budget. And that is the only one she made me try on that was over my budget. But like, I was totally against the mermaid and the fitted style, and so I think she really wanted me to try at least one on, and she chose one that would really like make myself look good and like make me confident in it, because that's what I was worried about, was my curves. So she chose a more expensive one for that, and I fell in love with it, and so that wasn't good. And I didn't try it again because I knew it was over my budget, but I was like, well, maybe I can make it work. I don't know. But I think it was like $1,000 over my budget. Anyway, so I was like, okay, well, I would like to try on some more fitted ones because I loved that one, but I don't want it to be over budget. And I think I loved it because it made me feel so secure, and sometimes like those mermaid style ones, and it was strapless, like they don't make you feel secure. That one did. And so the few that I tried on today, sorry, you're probably hearing my microwave. The ones I tried on today did not feel that secure, like I wasn't in love with them. And I was still self-conscious about my figure. So the final two that I got down to were two that she picked, and both of them I was like, my bridal consultant picked, and both of them, me and Ashley were just like, I don't even want to try this on, like that looks awful, like what is she trying to do? I absolutely loved, actually. So one was a fitted one, wasn't as thick of a material, I guess I would say, the fitted one, as the previous one that I fell in love with. It definitely showed off my curves a lot more than the other one. So I was pretty self-confident, conscious in it. I was like, I love it on, and it does hit my curves like perfect, but I feel like I'm gonna hate myself when I get my pictures back. So that's what I was worried about. And I really couldn't breathe in it. But I wasn't worried about that at the time. But now, like, thinking back, I was like, yeah, you could not breathe. Like, I don't even know how you would have probably sat down in that, Riley. Like, good thing you didn't pick that one. But it was gorgeous. It had, like, a little off-the-shoulder strap. And it had some lace on it. And it was more of a mermaid style, but not too mermaid. And it stretched. It was really pretty. And like she put the veil on me, and it was gorgeous, and I still loved it. And there were some older ladies sitting out there. Remember, I told you it wasn't personable, like everyone got to see you. Like, I didn't like that, but they were just like kind of talking, like I feel like they didn't like it on me, which I shouldn't go by. I didn't go by their judgment, but like compared to the one that I picked, they were just like oohing and awing over it. So anyways, that was the one I didn't pick, and then some other girl next to me kept trying on the sleeves, and I was like, okay, those look really cute. Like, I would like to try one of those. I tried one on at my first bridal shop I went to, and I hated it. I was like, these are itchy. These don't even look fitted. Like, I don't like sleeves. Like, I don't even really want to try one on today. And so the girl next to me was like, all her dresses had sleeves. And so I was like, will you find me one that has sleeves? So she did. I was trusting her. She did. She came back, and it had like, so the sleeves started at the shoulder, and then they went just a little bit past the elbow. So it wasn't like a full length of sleeve, which I was like, okay, that's good, because I didn't like the full length of sleeve. Excuse me. Last time anyways, so this might actually be good. But the rest of the dress was like hideous. I was like, what is she doing? It actually has like a bow around the waist, like a little teeny tiny bow. I was like, that is awful. I would never wear this. And my sister literally goes, she sucks. I was like, oh my gosh, no way. I was like, you know what? I guess I'll try it on. And my sister was like, yeah, you like the other one that she picked, and we thought it looked awful, so might as well just try this one on too, because I was about to be like, nope, I ain't even trying it. Like, I'm done. Like, we're done. Walk out, okay? That's how awful I thought it looked. I tried it on, and at first I was like, still not liking the bow. Like, I almost told her I hated it, actually. She came in and she goes, so how do you like it? I was like, she's like, okay, we can remove the bow, put a belt on instead, And I was just like, I still don't know how I feel about the bottom. And she goes, well, you need to stand, I don't know what they call them, like the pedestals, you know? And I'm short. I'm like 5'2", if that. So, like, when you stand with the dresses, like, it raises up and bunches up at my hips, which my hips are already big enough. Like, they don't need any extra help, okay? She goes, okay, stand up on the pedestal. Like, I'm going to go get a belt. We're going to cover up this ugly bow. Like, it's going to look good. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, I almost told her, I was like, I almost said, I hate this. So, anyways, I go on the pedestal. I'm like, okay, it's better, but this bow is still awful. Like, it makes me want to vomit. And so she puts on the bow, and I was just like, oh, I love that. And I turned around, which I hadn't looked at the back yet. I turned around, and so let me give you a little backstory. Like, it's quarter sleeve, and then it hits at my shoulders, and then the lace comes up quite a bit. And then on the back, the lace still comes up quite a bit, but my whole back is just lace, and then it has the buttons down, like my spine. A little visual there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. And it looks the bottom looked so much better when I was standing up, and it wasn't like all the way at my hips and my love handles. I'm holding my phone right now because I could not get my camera, so I'm sure this video is not going to be the greatest, but I couldn't wait. So I just stared at myself for the longest time, and the old ladies in the corner were just like, oh my god, I love it. Oh my gosh, she looks so pretty. But they weren't like talking to me, like they were talking to each other, but I could for sure hear them. I don't even know if they knew I could hear them or not. And then I was like, okay, can you get me a veil? Because I didn't know like veils could change a dress that much. Who knew? So if you're like on the fence about a dress, be like, lady, I want a veil to try on, okay? Don't try them on with everyone though, because then you'll be even more confused, I'm sure. I was like, okay, get me a veil, like, and then I'll stare at myself for a long time again. So she got me a veil, and it was like a lacy veil, and I still wasn't like about it. I was like, yeah, I love it, but I don't know. She goes, okay, then try on the other one, and then we'll try on this one again. I was like, okay, all right. So then I put on the other one, and so it was the fitted one with the shoulders. It was like 5 sizes too big for me. So like the back was like, there was like this much fabric hanging off, and she was like clipping it, and I probably would have loved it if it was my size and it actually fit me, honestly. But since it was so big, it was like bunching up in weird places, and I just did not feel comfortable for one, and 2, confident. Like, I kept telling Ashley, I was like, I love it. I love the idea of it, but when I looked at the pictures that she took, I was like, oh, I look awful. It's like, that's what I'm worried about. Like, I think I look good in the mirror, but I mean, these pictures are going to be forever. Like, I don't want to hang something on my wall that I don't feel like I look good in. You know what I mean? I don't want to look at my chunky self like the rest of my life on my wall. Even though they said I didn't look chunky and I looked great and it hit me in all the right places. Great, but you know, we're our own worst critics, and really these pictures are for me, not anybody else. Who cares, you know, what other people think of me? It's what I think of myself and how I feel. So I was like, I don't know. I still love it. I don't know. And then she put me in this veil, and it had 2 layers. So the first layer was shorter, and then the second layer was long. And it took away from a lot of my curves. And I was like, oh, I love it, you know? But I still was like, you know, there's going to be a lot of pictures that I don't have my veil in, because I plan on doing all my bridal pictures without my veil. Or like my bridesmaids, bridal party, I should say, without my veil. My first look without my veil. and then I'll put my veil on during the ceremony, and then I'll be wearing it like after the ceremony pictures. But there's still going to be a lot of pictures without a veil and a bouquet and from the side and things like that, and I was still nervous about what these pictures were going to look like. And I was like, I don't know if I can breathe sitting down. Like, I don't know if I can do my jig in this dress. So I was like, all right, let's go back and try on. My hair is so crazy because I was like, put it in a bun, put it on top of my head, put it in a ponytail, do all these things with it, trying to figure out the style I wanted. Anyways, so I go back to the dress that I thought was horrible with the bow. I tried that on with, I was like, okay, I want to try the same veil on. I at least want 2 layers, so can you get me that 2-layer veil? So she went and got like 2 veils, put them together, and I was like, okay, I'm sold. Like, I love this. And then she's like, okay, how do you feel? And I was like, I feel like a bride. Like, I feel really pretty, but I'm not really like that sentimental or in my feelings. Sorry, I'm just not. Some girls are like, I feel great. And you know what? Props to you if you're that girl. You go, girl. But I'm not. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I think this is the one, but I don't know. I'm not going to say it out loud. In front of all these people, too. Like, and like an awkward moment happened earlier. And they were like, so do you say yes to the dress, to this other girl? And she's like, yeah, I think so. I was like, okay, I do not want that to be me. So please don't ask me that. And anyways, she just kept asking, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't want to commit yet. What if it's not? And so I just stood there and just stared at myself, and my sister just took pictures, and I looked at the pictures, and I just stared at myself, and I was like, all right, I'm doing it. Like, this is it. This is the one. I'm getting it. Let's do it. And she's like, let me give you a hug. I was like, okay. And then I was like, all right, this is too much. Like, I'm going to go home. So anyways, it was a sale, $500 off. Like, I got my dress, and then they were like bagging up the dress that I was trying on. I was like, what the fuck? I'm not supposed to say that. So apparently with final sales, Josh is home. Anyways, apparently for final sales, they give you the dress that is on the showroom floor, which makes sense, but I was not expecting to take home a dress today. And so I'm so glad I had my sister there with her. She goes, oh, Josh is home. She goes, oh, we didn't really realize that we were going to be taking the dress off the floor today. Like, we didn't know that. We thought we would be ordering one. We didn't really check the dress out. Like, I don't know if there's snags in it. And they were kind of like, oh, yeah, it's a newer dress. Like, that's just how our sales go. And we were like, okay, well, you didn't really tell us that. So I was so mad. But, like, the dress was perfect. Like, the sizing was perfect. Like, she didn't have to clip any of it. Like, it fit me perfect. That's another reason why I think I fell in love with it. And so we were like, okay, well, can we at least check it out before you bag it up and make sure, like, there is nothing wrong with it? So we checked it out, and she did promise. She goes, you know, it is, like, a newer one that we've got in stock. Like, it really hasn't been tried on that much, but you know, I don't know, she could have just been trying to sell it to me. I don't know. And so we just looked it over really good. There was a few, like, black spots on the tulle, but I don't think that's a problem because it is tulle. It would be different if it was, like, sheer or something like that. Like, you could barely notice it at all. And it was $500 off, so I really couldn't complain that much. I did stay under my budget, which is what I wanted to do. I still have to buy some accessories though. I still need the veil, which I think I'm just gonna buy one off Etsy, and I'll probably end up doing something myself with it. I can be kind of crafty sometimes. Rather than like the one that I tried on that they were really trying to get me to buy, which I also didn't like that. Like, don't try to sell me things. Sorry. Like, if I wanted it and I was in love with it, I would be like, yeah, I want that. But I wasn't. I was like on the fence about it. And they just kind of kept trying to sell it to me, which whatever. Didn't bother me that much, but I don't have a problem saying no. Like, I'm not interested. It was like 50% off, but the veil was over $500, okay? Like, no. So the lacy veil would have been like $200, which who knew veils were expensive? Not me. And then that still didn't equal out with my other layer, because I wanted the 2 layers, and that wasn't even the 2-layer one. So then I would have had to buy 2 veils, and then I would have had 2 clips in my head, and no thank you. So it's not even what I wanted, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not buying it. And then the belt that I tried on with it, because remember it has that ugly bow on it. So I'll take the bow off, and then I'll just purchase a belt instead, and they'll just sew in the belt. No big deal there. I didn't even look at the price tag on that. Actually, I did look at the price tag. It was $200 as well. And I feel like I could just find something that was a little cuter. I didn't even really look at belts, and a lot cheaper than $200 for a belt. So now I'm on a mission to find the veil that I want with it and a belt, and then I really won't have to get too much alterations because, like I said, it fit perfect. I'll just have to get the sleeves tacked a little bit, and then, like I said, I'm 5'2", so we gotta cut a lot off the bottom to make it look good, because I'm not gonna be wearing heels. I'll be in flats probably. And yeah, so that is my bridal experience. I was kind of bummed out because I didn't have everybody with me, so I kind of still feel bad about that, but they're super supportive, and I sent them pictures and they're so excited. But I wish I would have had everybody with me. And I wish I would have been able to find my dress at the first bridal shop, because like I said, my experience there was so much better than this one. I'm just going to try not to even think about that, because I found the dress that I wanted and I love it, but I just wish my experience was a little bit better and more personable. But yeah, that's all I got. If you're in the market for a dress, don't be scared to say no to these crazy bridal consultants, but also be open to their ideas, because like I said, the 2 dresses that she picked out for me, I hated at first. I was like, I would never wear that, and I almost walked out. But you never know. So try new things and be open to ideas, but also don't be scared to tell them no. Right, well, if you like this video, subscribe below, give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I can give you a snapshot soon. Just kidding, it's like a year away, so you'll have to wait.